coming to stage, please welcome Jessica Abrams. Jessica Abrams.
My dad was Jewish, my mother German, and the daughter of a Nazi. And I grew up in the South. And this was a South where they hadn't seen a lot of Jews, so it was like pre-Seinfeld. Other mothers would be like, Jessica, come in the house for some lemonade. And my mother would be like, Jessica, come in the house and practice your piano, I will cut off your fingers. So I had a very rich fantasy life. I lived off of fantasy. I didn't live off food because I was anorexic, but whatever, I was middle class. It was part of the package. So I became a modern dancer. You know, I was doing a lot of like rolling around on floors, you know, in the East Village. So I had plenty of opportunities to get dirty. And yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah, no. And but I wanted to branch out, you know, I wanted to diversify. So I auditioned for this piece, and you know, I'm not going to do it right now. It was a very difficult dance piece, and you know, I crushed it. I mean, it was like, all right, I'll do it. So, you know, okay, we started rehearsal, crushed it. We started rehearsals and really got down to the nitty-gritty, and this is what we did. And you know, it was a lot of work, you know, doing this, and I was like, where's the twists? Where's the turns? Where's the kickball changes? And eventually there was one. There was a kickball change, and I was just doing, I was into it. I was really excited. Our capo balletto, our head was Loretta. And Loretta had dyed blonde hair, fake nails, she was skinny, she was from Bayside, Queens. She was very, very confident. And there were 6 of us. We were gonna do this show. It was super exciting. I was really excited. And I put aside the fact that we'd have to sit with the customers after the show, and they would buy us drinks and we'd earn a commission. I mean, look, I wasn't a B-girl, okay? I wasn't a prostitute. I was just thirsty. And, you know, I wasn't stripping because I was already stripped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was wearing a small, you know, I was wearing a bikini, a G-string, and a bikini top. But I was so excited. This was my big chance. I was gonna see the world. I was gonna go to Italy. That's where this was going. I was really, really excited. You know, there were 6 dancers. We had a Peter Gunn number. We had an aerobics number with gold lame that we were twirling above our heads. And yeah, I mean, it was very thrilling. I mean, it really was. You know, so we got out there, we rehearsed, got out to Italy, and honestly, I felt like we were kind of bringing a little bit of Americana, you know what I mean? Like cultural ambassadors. And I then get out there, and you know, I thought there were going to be white tablecloths, and you know, it was going to be like the 30s, you know, like the 30s in Germany, like pre-war or post-war, like something having to do with the war, you know, but like, and instead I get out there, and there's just like 5 guys, and they're all staring at our crotches. They're just all right there. But I was still hopeful, you know, I was still in Italy, and the first guy that requested me was this guy named Umberto, who just basically said, mi piace Jessica, like over and over. I like Jessica. He just kept saying that over and over. He didn't speak English, I didn't speak Italian. It was beautiful, but I'm looking over at my girlfriends, and they are sitting in the corner, and they are talking to these like 3 good-looking Italian guys. And those guys spoke English. They were laughing, you know, they were pouring Cristal, and it was like that moment, you know, where like, it was like a metaphor for my life, you know? Like, they're over there, they're laughing, and one guy had like these glasses on, and his, you know, the hair slicked back and like the little curl, you know, and they're just like having fun. And I was just like sitting there, you know, with this Umberto. But our first night off, the guy with the curl, Giovanni, was having everybody over to his house, and I said, you know what? He's gonna be mine. and I'm going to make him mine. Because you know what? When I set out to do something, I get it. I mean, I just do. Sure enough, by the end of the evening, his tongue was down my throat, and we started dating. And, yeah, and, you know, I was in love with, you know, he was like really good at like the way he drove around curves. You know, and also he had a gold chain that would occasionally like hit me in the eye, like we were having sex. So I was just like, you know, it was exotic, you know. So Loretta did not like this. Loretta, she was like, change of plans. We're going to Genoa. And then he got, you know, he was like, no, this. We had this moment, you know, he's like, I'm so sad for you girls. You were tricked. You are sad, naive American girls, and you are going to this town. This is so sad to me. You must stay. You must stay in Florence. And I was just like, no, I can't. You know, I've become kind of the de facto leader of the resistance here. You know what I'm saying? I'm second under Loretta. I can't go. I left my job. I really made a lot of sacrifices to come to this fabulous show. So I go to Genoa, and sure enough, you know, I get there, red drapes, red carpet. It was the same whorehouse, different town. I knew, you know, I just. I mean, because look, you know, I'm just going to segue. I'm older than I look. I'm just going to put that out there. You know, like a lot of times, you know, I'll see kids, you know, people I went to high school with, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to those people? And then I realize gainful employment, being a meaningful member of society, dodge that bullet. So anyway, I get to Genoa, and you know, I realized what had happened. I had been trafficked, you guys, okay? I had been trafficked. Sure enough, Giovanni comes in. It was a raid. He comes in, he takes one look around, and he says, let's go to lunch. So we went to lunch, and then we came right back, and everybody else was just like, I want to go to lunch, I want to go to lunch. But it was a waiting game, to be honest. I knew I had to leave. I knew I couldn't stay here, despite the fact that, you know, I had made all these sacrifices. So I waited it out, and I did the show. And then in the dead of night, after everybody was asleep, I took my suitcase, and I had a little pillbox hat, just for the visual, you know. And I just snuck, I went to his car, and we drove back to Florence. Now, what I've neglected to mention, I've only known this guy 2 months. No, 2 weeks, sorry. I've only known him 2 weeks. So then what kind of happened was we ended up staying together for 3 years, and I went from dancing, you know, for 6 people to dancing for 1 for free. And, you know, I was just like trying to, you know, just get his attention a little bit, and he wouldn't. So I broke up with him. No, after a while. I mean, yes, but no, that feels like a sad thing to end on. So I was a sexually curious child. Was anybody else here a sexually curious child? Okay, thank you. Honest people. No, I hit the jackpot when I found a book in my mother's closet showing naked people, like in various positions. So I ran to my German mother and I said, Mommy, what are they doing? And she goes, they are doing exercises. So many years later, when I was called a whore, I realized I was in the best shape of my life.